All right. Welcome to the Darkblock Magic Eden talkie talk thing, everyone. Sorry so much for any technical details. My name is Jeremy Solomon. I'm one of the co-founders of Darkblock. I am a creative strategist and creative person. We are super excited to be here for this hackathon to support all the participants and hopefully build some tools to help empower projects and creators in the Solana ecosystem. Dara, you want to flip to the next slide for me? Awesome, cool. So we have a bunch of people that are going to talk from our team today about a bunch of different things. If you go to the next slide, Dari, we're going to cover what is a dark block. That's going to be me. Then we're going to talk about sort of the adoption that we're seeing for dark blocks now, what you can use it for. And then we'll go into some more technical stuff, how the protocol works. From there, we'll go into all the developer resources that we have available for people to hack on. Then we'll go into monetization protocol version 0.01. So this is what we're excited to hopefully build with everyone here with. So some stuff that we've been working on, but that we're looking for input on as well. So excited to get into that. And then we'll talk about how we're here to support everyone who's hacking. Again, if you're joining now, sorry for the technical difficulties early. We are starting late, but we're excited to get started. All right, let's go to the next slide. So Darkblock is a protocol for decentralized unlockables. Our mission is to give all creators more control over how they engage with their communities around content. So I was going to play a video, but we're having some issues and we're not able to actually flip through our video. So we'll go to that slide. If anyone wants to learn later about sort of like from a high level what Darkblock is, you can watch this. But basically, we enable content to be served to NFT holders in composable, interesting ways. So we think about content as the ultimate utility for the internet. It's why people go to the internet. And it doesn't, I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm a little mixed up here. So yeah, anyways, hopefully you'll go watch our video. It kind of gives you a high level of what we think is possible. But let's go to the next slide, Dari, please. Cool. So like I mentioned, content, we think about content as the ultimate, man, I'm totally mixed up because we got a little off on the wrong foot. So let me just get started here. So a dark block can be anything basically, right? But the thing that we focus on mostly is content. So a dark block could be a piece of data. It could be a key that you want to give someone. It could be a comic book. It could be an infinitely large file, actually only 350 megabytes right now, but eventually infinite. It could be music or 3D game assets, etc. Anything you can imagine, you can put inside a dark block. Sorry, just like a little thrown off because we have these technical difficulties. But anyways, we focus on content because content is what the internet is all about for most people. It's why people go to the internet. And most professional creators make their living via content, but content doesn't exist in Web3. All right, click the thingy, Dari. Oops, nope, go back, I guess. We're like way off here. Flustertown. Anyways, so I want to just get across that Darkblock is not token gating. Token gating is maybe one way that people can let people access content, but we believe that truly like composable and sort of Web3 content will. Sorry, oh my god, I'm so bad at this. Will open up endless new possibilities for creative communities. Let's go to the next slide, Dari. Cool. So selling ownership of NFTs is just the tip of the iceberg. Am I completely off? No. Pay to read, subscribe to listen, rent to watch, play to earn, pay-per-view are just a few ways that Web3 can support creator economies. And unlockable content, we think, is the key to guaranteeing creator control over distribution. So like the thing that we always say is that, you know, royalties on primary sales are awesome, but they're not enough basically for creators to make a living. And what we need for that is, if you'll go to the next slide, Dari, is we need there to be royalties on consumption as well. So this is one of the main things that Darkblock is focused on, is basically creating composable ways for people to access content, whether that means that they buy an NFT and they own it, or it means that they rent it from an owner or something else. I feel like I'm completely butchering this whole fucking thing. It's all right. I blame everyone else. And you should be able to access that content forever. As a creator, your kids' should be able to earn royalties when aliens read a comic book that you published. All right, so the next person to come up, Charles, is going to be Dari, and he's going to go through the next slide. And again, I'd just like to apologize for everyone. We had quite a fluster at the beginning, so I hope you'll go watch our video and not rate me on my terrible performance here. But yeah, here we go. Dari and Wit, take it away, and you can drop me off, Charles. Enough.
Yay!
Hello.
Hey guys, it's me. I'm Dari. Hey, head of product, and Wit, I like to call him chief meme officer, because he plants ideas in people's heads and they grow very quickly into big ideas. And one of them is well, everything you can do with Darkblock. All these different use cases that unlockable content is, pun intended, unlocking. Wit, do you want to maybe kind of talk about the kind of off the top of your head, like music,
Sure.
comics, ebooks, metaverse assets, podcasts, PFPs, movies, videos? How is this being affected by unlockable content?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm Wit. I'm kind of head of comms and community at Darkblock. And as Jeremy said, you know, we're an encryption protocol that enables creators to attach unlockable multimedia content to their NFTs, which are only accessible by the NFT owner. So what that does is basically turn your NFT into a delivery channel for content, right? Rather than just the NFT being the content itself, you know, as a JPEG or a music file, we can now deliver multimedia content. So, you know, full ebooks, full films, comic books, music, and there's a lot of use cases we'll go over. But one that we will start with is talking about PFPs, I believe, Dari.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think
So,
we're gonna do a product demo right now. So this is right now what you're looking at is Darkblock's web app. So this is you know, anyone can go here to basically connect their wallet, see the NFTs they have in their wallet, and the ones that include Darkblock. So unlockable content. You'll see the little Darkblock icon to those NFT gallery view. That means that there is content there for the owner to access. So you'll see there's a music album there. There's a ticket. There's a PFP. That one called Land of Ads is a video movie, and then Chaos the Metaverse is a comic book, which is very cool. But we'll start right now with the PFP. Obviously, PFPs are some of the you know, most popular kind of NFTs. Really, what drove the market in 2021. So, but you know, today a lot of these PFPs really have not had much utility, right? I mean, maybe you can use them to token gate and that sort of thing, but what if PFP, you know, projects, you know, use those PFPs to actually add value and reward holders with multimedia content? You know, a lot of these projects have kind of storylines and are world building, and they could be using this to create lore, right? Like attaching comic books, attaching movies, attaching any kind of content you can think of. So what Dari's going to show right now is, you know, you open up this NFT, what you see there is a bunch of this content. It's all grayed out. You can't access it until you authenticate ownership by interacting with our protocol. So then you'll see the content, and then you can obviously click and open it. So in this case, yep,
it's worthy to mention that this content, so the protocol can encrypt any type of content. We don't care what it is. So it can be an image, it can be a 3D asset, video, it can be PFPs, just like Wit said. So this unlocks any kind of use case where content is involved. The content is encrypted and stored on Arweave, so it's there forever. And it's immutably tied to the NFT. So wherever the NFT goes, the content goes with it. So obviously, this opens up a whole new spectrum of what can happen on secondary markets because the NFT can be upgraded, like we call it, with unlockable content in perpetuity. So the NFT becomes like a focus point for a content stream. So PFPs can add content to their collections because not only one NFT can be upgraded at a time, but whole entire collections can be upgraded at a time, and even target traits within them. So you can target, specific trait to reward them. Something that's more scarce, more rare, they get something special. And so you see there are all these different assets here. They're all stored in Arweave. And just like I clicked there on that image, we can also, this is what we're looking at right here in our web app. This is our NPM. This is something that devs can just take and integrate with, and is already being used on some of our other partner marketplaces. So, here we have got 3D asset as an example.
Right. I mean, you could drop a, PFP project, the creator could drop a custom 3D avatar, Metaverse ready avatar to each of their holders via Darkblock. And why that's important, instead of just airdropping it, is because now this 3D avatar is immediately attached to this NFT. So even if it's sold later, right, the 3D avatar comes with it. And so we also think that this, all the other content that could be delivered, is adding value to this NFT, even on the secondary marketplace, right? So encourage diamond hands and that sort of thing. And it's worthy to note that the creator can update the NFTs, even after they're minted and sold. It's, and as Dari mentioned, that means in perpetuity. You just ad infinitum, you could be adding content, which kind of opens up one of the other great use cases, like comic books. If you think about comic books, ebooks, that sort of content has not really been utilized in the NFT world, except via token gating, right? So you sell an NFT, and then it's used to just access the content that is basically returning to kind of a Web 2.5 solution, which is this content is stored on a centralized server. But with Darkblock, you could sell an NFT like Chaos of the Metaverse, and then basically add new issues of that comic book. Drop a new one, deliver a new one via NFT every month. Or if you're an author, drop a new chapter of your ebook, tell a never-ending story each month. And someone, or it could be an animator dropping animated video shorts, or it could be a model dropping daily, NSFW content, right? And what this opens up is, by giving creators the control of the distribution of their content, we also are going to enable them to control the monetization of the content. So monetization opportunities that Darkblock is working on, we had that on the roadmap for Q4 of this year. This kind of hackathon has accelerated that timeline a bit. And also hoping, like all you builders will be, thinking about this and building some monetization tools as well for this. Because you think about it, once an NFT becomes a delivery channel for content rather than content itself, you can start charging a subscription. So you own this NFT, you want to get this new issue of this comic book every month, there's a subscription there. Or if you want to, if you're a model on OnlyFans and you want to, switch to this, someone could be building the OnlyFans Web3 on top of the Darkblock protocol. We make that possible.
Exactly. And so many use cases here that this unlocks. I mean, our web app here, and Joey's going to talk about this more later in the presentation, where we talk about our dev tools. But our basically, a creator can add content here via this NPM package here. So it's super easy. You just add a file, you add a name, description. You can decide whether it's downloadable or not. You create it, and then 1 second later, it's here in this list. Yeah. And so creators can add content, and owners can access it, unlock it. And so, with monetization, you can imagine there being a button here that is like rent for. So then you open it up to everyone else. And so the idea is the revenue split is between the creators and the owners. And so everyone else can click and they can listen to this music or access this exclusive content for this album for like a microtransaction or something like that. And that gets split between the owner and the creator. And this is opening up, not just bringing creator economy into Web3, but also unlocking this curator economy where you collect things, you're collecting NFTs, they are collectibles, but then you can actually earn a passive income from the content that's attached to them. So that's kind of groundbreaking, I would say.
Right. Yeah, film 3 movement is obviously big. And if we talk about movies and using Darkblock, so far filmmakers have used NFTs for funding the production of a film, but then they return to kind of Web 2 distribution channels. We think that you could distribute a film to the NFT holders of those early supporters, deliver it. That gives true ownership of that film, right? It's the closest thing to going to buy a DVD. And not only that, we can add all sorts of behind the scenes, documentary, the script, concept art, whatever. You turn it into a special edition box set for music too. And then, but some concerns that people have is like, oh, well, if I want to be a filmmaker, I want my film as wide distribution as possible, right? So how is that going to happen if I only sell 2,000 NFTs? Well, that's where the content rental comes in, right? Those 2,000 NFTs become the collectibles, right? And there's a lot of people who are not going to want to pay, 20, SOL for to buy the film. But if you can rent it and pay the equivalent of $5 to watch it, then boom, there's that rental. So you still can have global distribution, and it's just the holders, the creator gives the holders the ability to rent out the Darkblock content. Royalties on consumption. That's what we're calling that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you up, but yeah. So just before we jump into kind of more technical stuff, there's two interesting use cases that might be cool to talk a little bit about. Is like ticketing as well, and events, and then also like Metaverse game assets. That's super interesting, right?
Yeah. Ticketing and events. Obviously, NFT tickets are already a thing, which I think is just going to continue to be adopted more widely. What you can do with Darkblock is make those tickets even more kind of valuable, right? Tickets become, after the fact, become mementos. You're either going to throw it in the trash, like I'm talking about in, IRL, real paper ticket. You throw it in the trash or kind of keep it as a memento. When it comes to NFT tickets, same idea, right? You get a ticket, you use it to get in the event, and then it sits in your wallet. But what if you, go to, this could be a music concert. It could also be like a business conference. Say you get an NFT, ticket to a music business conference. You go to this conference, QR code at the entrance to every workshop panel. Boom, scan it. It knows what workshops you've been to. Great workshops, great content. By the time you arrive home after this conference, every one of those workshop recordings is attached as unlockable content to your NFT ticket. So that ticket still sits in your wallet, but now it's also has all the content from that business conference. Music concert, same thing, right? The audio recording or the video recording of that concert could be added to that NFT ticket after the fact. Again, content rental could be tied into this. So suddenly, like the people that attended that conference could rent it out with royalties on consumption going back to the original creator, the NFT, which is the concert promoter or the band. And then, there's also this idea of, we haven't implemented this yet, this is on the roadmap, but user-generated content. I have an NFT ticket to a concert, music concert. It's an awesome event. I'm taking photos, I'm taking videos. After the fact, the creator can give the NFT owners the ability to upload unlockable content to their own NFT. So I can actually store those photos and videos to my NFT ticket from that event, which was really cool. Metaverse game assets, really quickly. We have a Unity plugin, which is our kind of chief evangelist and dev, Ragi, has developed. And this allows anyone creating assets for metaverses and games, Unity-based ones right now. It could be used, obviously Darkblock could be used for any sort of 3D assets. But with this Unity plugin, creators can attach their assets to the NFT, then subsequently sell them. The owners of those NFTs can then basically using the Unity plugin upload those assets to the game or metaverse at runtime automatically. And this is super cool. Also, plenty of kind of monetization opportunities here that we're looking at, with upgrades and, buying additional assets. If you buy a 3D avatar or something for this metaverse and you want to upgrade it with, a new linked wearable or some other kind of in a game, some other assets or power-ups or that sort of thing, pay the original creator, boom, they add dark blocks, and at runtime, those assets are there for them. So did I forget anything, Dari?
No, I think that was good. That's a lot. There's a lot to grow. There's so many possibilities.
So many use cases, so many possibilities.
But in a few minutes, Raki and Joey, they're going to show us a little sneak peek of the Unity plugin and other stuff.
Absolutely.
So
and
let's transition into some more kind of technical heavy stuff. Let's talk about the protocol.
Yeah.
Chris, let's switch over to Chris.
If you want to keep brainstorming about all these use cases, just we'll be in the Discord. So thanks so much.
Absolutely.
Charles, you can take me off.
Hey guys. Hey Chris.
Hello. How's it going?
Man, my Apple Watch just said I might be having a cardiac event. Get that out there.
Yeah, the technical difficulties started earlier today when Joey's laptop actually died. So he was supposed to be running this whole thing, but we had to switch it up last second. So
Yeah.
yeah, just here making
Yeah.
excuses. Anyway, whatever.
That's it. But this is fun. Chris,
Anyway,
hey,
yeah.
Who are you?
Who am I? I am Chris Saline.
Yeah, man.
I am CEO of Darkblock, but I'm also a hardcore nerd. So I wrote the first version of the protocol. So I'm going to talk today about what we're doing there. And yeah, Joey's our CTO. He's going to follow that up with talk about how everybody can kind of interact with the protocol with the developer resources. So yeah, let's jump into it. So what is this Darkblock protocol thing? So Darkblock protocol is a network of nodes that helps you encrypt content and control access to it. So, sounds pretty simple. Here's an overview of how creators and consumers of content interact with the protocol. This shows you just one node, but there are many nodes. So let's dive in on the side of creating a Darkblock. Yep, next slide. Thank you. So it all starts with the creator. They create a piece of content that they would like to control access to. So what they do is they reach out to the protocol. They request an encryption key. An encryption key is created that is specific to that piece of content. And then they encrypt that content and place it into Arweave. So Arweave is permanent file storage, blockchain-based, great way to store data for NFTs because it's permanent. It's supposed to live forever, just like NFTs. So we think it's a great fit. So once we encrypt the content, place it into Arweave, that encryption key that's controlled by the network is also encrypted and placed to Arweave as well. And that's to make sure that there's proper redundancy. Other nodes can basically encrypt or decrypt the content and deliver it to people. So, all right, this is the creation of a dark block. Let's take a look at the consumption of the dark block as well. So this starts with the user. A user that either owns an NFT that has dark blocks or a user that may trigger some sort of monetization event in order to access a dark block. Either they pay like a pay-per-view or they have a subscription. But basically what they need to do is they first need to prove that they should have access. So what they do is they use their crypto wallet, they create a signature based on that wallet, and then they send in this request that includes this proof, and also they generate a temporary key for kind of an end-to-end encryption handshake with the protocol. So they send this in. The protocol then verifies whether access should be granted. So it reaches out to either APIs or on-chain events. And it says, okay, this person has proved access either by ownership or by looking at that monetization event. And then it needs to deliver the content to them. But we need to be very careful with these keys. We don't want to just hand out these keys to anybody. So what we do is within what's called a trusted execution environment, which is a special area of the CPU that can handle data, very sensitive data, without actually letting anybody have access to it. It takes the content, it decrypts it, but then it re-encrypts it with this temporary key that the user provided, and it delivers it securely to them. The user then, on client side, decrypts the final data and is able to consume it. So, pretty simple. It's using that process called proxy re-encryption, but for content. So there's some other networks that use it just for keys, but we actually, are using this for content itself. So that's it in a nutshell. We're the protocol, is, still in development. So when it is fully secure, we can let anybody power this and be a fully decentralized protocol.
That's the goal. Nice job, Chris.
Why, thank you, sir.
All right. I'm going to start this. I'm going to have Ragi join me on stage. I might have to turn off my camera. Hearing me? So I don't know that to be true yet. And Ragi, come on up stage. Hey, Ragi, how you doing?
Joey, doing good. How are you?
Yeah. We're working through it. I'm running this on an iPad and couldn't get to the Apple Store. All right. Did my sound good? Daddy?
It's okay.
Dottie, you change me to the next slide, senor. There you are. A number of items. We've got an API available to docs.darkblock.io. You'll see several APIs. You will need a key to interface with our API. So you can click get, type in your email address, hit submit. We will send you a key with instructions. That's your first step as a developer. Yeah, that doesn't wear glasses, or shave a clean cut CTO. Right. So we've got 7 different APIs available. Endpoints. We also have a new monetized one that just we pushed up today to work through some of your monetization use cases. All right. And then once you have a key, you can access. We basically have 2 different types of dark blocks. So if you think about dark blocks, we have facing. So you create the dark block first, and then create an NFT to. You can use traits or attributes to associate with dark blocks, and then the other scenario is if you create the NFT and upgrade, add dark blocks to enhance the value and use. So you can create dark blocks before NFT creation. You can upgrade blocks after NFT creation. So we get you coming and going. All right, Dottie, let's go on to the next one. And we'll be in 4 hours after this event. Discord is the place to reach all of us. If you have questions, we can pull the rest of the dev team in. Our goal is to make you successful. To go with that, we also have kind of ready-made NPMs available. So npmjs.org. Do a search for dark block. That's tab. There you are. So basically, we support. We're multi-chain, chain agnostic. If you think about the way our application works, we have a shared component. This is the mother. Are basically a variety of players. How do you get a PDF to the screen? How do you ebooks? Zoomable tags and ping files. So the shared component is, and then all of the other NPMs refer to that. So whether you're working on a Solana project, you'd pull our Solana widget, it will automate, and then that's the 1-2 punch. So just go to search, or wherever you go to grab your NPMs, and search for dark block. Oh, and if you can't hear me, I can turn off video. Okay, guys. Forgive me. Had no idea audio is junk. All right, NPMs, upgrade flow. And then thirdly, sorry guys, other tools that are available for you. Oh, our TV app. Sorry, Dari. I don't know if I'm jumping script here. I did jump script. So NPMs, if you go to app.darkblock.io, you will and with the exact NPMs that you will be using for your project. That's the whole purpose. We're not a commerce site. It's just to show the ultimate use case. And our goal eventually, yeah, that right there is the NPM, and our ultimate goal is to have, marketplaces. You can pull our same NPM, and this is how Unlockables inside of the Magic Eden universe. So got to show our Christmas list. All right, and let's head on over a variety of other tools. So we realize not everybody is focused on building their own websites. This thing doesn't take off until it's on my phone. That's where we get scale. So what we've done, television app, where you can download, connect your wallet, and then view unlockable content. So if dark blocks and unlockable content is the where the sexy content lives, you want to be able to consume that on all. And what we've created and what we have available today in the App Store and Google Play and is the ability to view your NFTs, consume your dark. This is available to you, open source. It's yours. Insert logo here. And we also have starter kit templates. So, type sites where the NPM is already, so instead of creating, spending a lot of your own vanity site, your own project site, you can use our starter kits. And then we also have a Chrome extension. So the Chrome extension is all open source. You can view the code to Mysterious. Basically, we're embedding our viewer inside particular marketplace websites. So just even a channel, but if there are other marketplaces, extension and embed our viewer directly on top of the NFT, available for you to remix. And then lastly, but not leastly, we have, and Ragi, what are you doing with this? What is this thing?
Yes, so this is the beginnings of Unity plugin. At the moment, it's a script that sits on top of chain saves Unity package, Web3 package. So what it does is pull in assets from Darkblocks right into a Unity-based game or metaverse. It requires you to create an asset bundle out of the game assets or metaverse assets, upload them in through our protocol into a Darkblock, and then by adding the script to the game, it allows the players to grab the assets and pull them in game on runtime. And this is going to enable developers to sell parts of their games or items, characters. It can be, anything in game or metaverse.
This is powerful, right?
NFT.
Because using the Unity platform to publish, and what Ragi has been able to do here, dark blocks, and make it available. Everything is open source.
The code is open source, and if anyone is interested, they can fork it and participate.
That's awesome. I'm really interested in Metaverse. I want to use dark blocks inside these. If you're going to use NFTs as the transactional to your metaverse, it'd be great to protect that. Okay. Who do we got? That's monetization.
Well, hello again. All right, let's talk about monetization. Joey, by the way, your audio is terrible, so very, very choppy, but I'll take it, monetization side. So creator monetization is why we are here today. You know, how do we help creators make money? Next slide, Dari, please. So, you know, what is monetization in the context of Darkblock? We think that one of the best ways to enable NFT creators to build sustainable businesses is to give them control over how they monetize the actual access to the content, you know, the consumption of movies, the consumption of comic books, etc., not just making everything out there be available for free. So what we are doing is we are creating this framework that allows people to plug in various business models, such as pay-per-view access to content, rental access to movies, comics, art, avatars, you know, metaverse assets as well. Subscriptions, you know, make a lot of sense, but also kind of crowdsourcing, the ability to kind of collect money for an NFT project and then drop content later. But you know, we are introducing this framework today that is, you know, we've accelerated this kind of timeline for introducing monetization around Darkblock in order to hit this this hackathon. We were originally targeting the end of the year, but we have accelerated things, and so we haven't figured everything out yet. But you know, we're here today to kind of work with the community to build this out, and so we want to be part of this hackathon, part of building this, and we want you, the community, to help guide us and make sure we're doing this the right way. So let's go on to the next slide. So we're introducing a new concept we call access NFTs. So basically, we have the original NFT that has Darkblock content associated with it. We'll call that the content NFT. But then what we want to do is to be able to give people the ability to create these access NFTs that allow them to access all the properties of another NFT. So in our case, that means giving them access to all the Darkblock content inside. And the reason we want to do this is because we think NFTs are a very important construct that makes things very composable. There's so many tools around NFTs that we think that kind of this access NFT is a great way to provide all these different business models and make it very composable with the rest of the ecosystem. Next slide. So how do we do that? So basically, we have a three-step process. First, we want to have creators actually enable monetization of this content. So this is not something that would be enabled by default for all Darkblocks. This is all about creator control for us. We want to give creators the tools to make money. So we want to give them the control over how they actually enable these business models. So what they do is they deploy a configuration which controls what types of monetization can be activated for an NFT and the dark blocks inside. So right now, what we have built is the ability to deploy this configuration to Arweave, and we have an API endpoint that enables this to be done very easily so that people can build on this. But we also have other ideas about, you know, how we could enable this configuration as well. It could be a smart contract on Solana or you know, some other mechanism. We'll look to the community to help figure this out. But right now, our mechanism is deploying this Arweave configuration, or this configuration to Arweave that enables the monetization to happen. So let's go on to the next slide. So step 2 is on the owner side. So the owner would actually deploy an NFT contract that allows people to buy NFTs that represent access to the content NFT, all the Darkblock content within that content NFT. So we have built some prototypes and we have basically described how this can be done in our documentation. We have released a spec that allows people to build these access NFTs. But what we want people to do is basically deploy a contract that allows people to buy NFTs that give them access to the Darkblock content in the content NFT. So basically the way that works is it's a pointer to the other NFT, and it needs to be authorized. It needs to be deployed only by the owner of the NFT, and we check those things in order to make sure the right person is giving access to the content. All right, next slide. And then on the user consumption side, they can use all the same tools that we currently provide. So we have this JavaScript viewer that allows you to embed Darkblock content in any web page. You can also consume it through the Darkblock TV app, or you could roll your own viewer. You can interact with the protocol permissionlessly, enable people to construct requests and make requests to the network to retrieve the content. But basically, we've taken care of that side of the protocol for you. So you as the builder, let's go on to the next slide. You as the builder, we want you to bring your business model. We want you to help with the user flow, the creator configuration, deployment, deploying these contracts for access NFTs, and where to surface the content. And then we also need a bit of help when it comes to payment splits. So this is something we need to figure out together. There are a couple different mechanisms that we can use. We can use custom contracts that split up payments. We can use basically certain contracts that mint NFTs. But we're looking for the community to kind of help build these things out with us over this hackathon. But we're going to be right there. We're going to be involved. Here's the URL to kind of get started with monetization. But we're ready to build, with everybody. All right. Jeremy, you coming back to the party? All right. Jeremy's coming back. He's going to hype everybody up.
Maybe, or just like completely blow it again like I did at the beginning. Yeah, thanks everyone. So, sorry we started late, then I bobbled, then we couldn't hear Joey. But I think what I want to get across here is that, there's two tracks to this hackathon, right? There's one that's like, how do we produce something with whoever wants to build with us? Or how do you guys produce something that's going to, change the game for ancillary revenue and be widely adopted? So that could be, like something that an existing project could use, like how do projects, move things from a Discord like to a completely decentralized thing that gamifies access in some way, or like whatever. It could be any kind of tool like that, or it could be how do you incentivize royalties through content access as well, So do dark blocks get turned on and off based on whether someone is paid or not? That would require some kind of trigger that we could point to. We don't know what that is yet, but that's also like potentially a great thing to hack on. So I think what I want to just reiterate here is that we're here to help anyone that's building on our protocol and thinks that it can add value in any way possible. That if that means like through design and UX, if that means through like code or trying to build some new features that, whatever, like Chris mentioned, we're here to build with everyone for the whole month. And, yeah, whatever. So that being said, if you go to the last slide, this is all of our information. We will be in our Discord for the next 4 hours, just talking about this stuff. If anyone wants to brainstorm, we are going to have a Twitter space once a week and Discord AMAs once a week as well, to like continue to support everyone in this hackathon. And that's really all I got there. Thanks so much for being here and for letting us be a part of this.
Yeah, thanks for everybody. I really appreciate your time here. But yeah, the whole team will be on for the next 4 hours. So come to the Discord, ask us questions. We'll be there to answer them. And then all month long, we want to build with you. So come build with us.
Whoop, whoop.
Awesome.
As the Juggalos say. Cool. Yeah, we're good to end, Charles. Thank you so much.